I'm Adam Watson.
I'm Trinity Watson.
This is the Darkslinger Mafia, 31 Days of Halloween, where we're going to be taking a look at something that's horror-themed, Halloween-themed. Gory, features ghosts, goblins, demons, slashers.
Or in this case, zombies.
Zombies, before they were officially people, maybe? I'm not sure. Are these actually supposed to be Homo sapiens in this?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Zombie B.C. Where the hell did you find this comic?
I honestly don't remember. I want to say I found it at Comics Adventure and off of McLaughlin, but I do not remember.
You can tell this is an indie comic right away by this.
Yeah.
These are literally just two of the Blambot free fonts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I've used those plenty of times, right?
Right.
They don't seem like they did a lot to differentiate them from just the fonts. They just put like a drop shadow in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the logo could have been done better.
Mm-hmm.
They could have put a little bit more work into that.
I love this comic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the entire cover could have been a lot better. I
think it could have been too.
Of what they did.
It looks to me like they used a different colorist than what's on the interior.
Yeah.
And somebody who tried painting it in like that hyper-realistic digital style that's so popular these days.
Yeah, they tried.
I like what's on the inside better.
Yeah, it looks like they tried painting it and then put a filter on it.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. So let's crack it open and take a look.
Sorry.
Story is by Stephen Vold and lead artist is Stephen Williams. Cover artist is Malcolm McClinton. That's kind of a tongue twister to say that one.
Yeah, it is.
It's interesting that they put lead artist.
Yeah.
Wonder what that means exactly.
Yeah, I'd be interested in figuring that out.
Yeah, if there's uncredited artists working in it or something like that. So, one of the interesting things about this is that it has almost no dialogue. When it's in the primitive age, there's no dialogue. It's all just narrative text.
Yeah.
And I actually like the narrative text a lot. When I first saw this, I was trying to figure out if this guy's leg was broken or something, though.
Yeah, it's a very strange stylization.
It is, and it doesn't work in every single panel.
No.
I would say in panel number 1, it's working a little bit less than in the others. I don't know if he's supposed to look a little bit more Neanderthalic with a leg like that.
Right.
Or what, but it does give it a little bit more of a strange effect.
Yeah.
And one of the things is, despite the fact that they show a mammoth on the cover and on the interior there, almost everything in this is an animal we know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, we got a deer right here.
Yeah, there's a deer. There's a moose later on.
Yeah, it introduces us to a hunter of some sort who's killing a deer.
Yeah, food is scarce. He has to go out very far from the tribe to get a deer.
And then he's starting a fire in the most awkward position of all time.
Yeah.
Number 1, it doesn't even look like he's using a second hand for that.
No.
Just his top hand. Number 2, I'm staring at that and I'm like, is he lighting his loincloth thing? Is that what he's doing? But no, there's a little tiny piece of wood there. It's just not colored in very well.
Yeah.
So there are little things like that I would say need some improvement. Like, nobody who has ever started a fire in the woods would think that's how you start one, no matter what era it is.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it looks like when you start a fire out in the middle of nowhere, ask someone who does. Watch a YouTube video on it. Something. Don't just use your imagination if that's what your imagination tells you to do.
Right.
But everything else looks pretty solid in this. So he's eating his dinner and somebody appears. And that somebody is apparently a zombie.
Yeah. Really cool panel layout for
he's
that.
More curious than he is smart. Which I actually liked. I thought that was pretty good that,
Yeah.
his curiosity gets the better of him and he's not that intelligent. This kind of reminded me in ways of the Primal episode with the zombie dinosaurs. This probably actually predates that. I don't know when this came out.
This was made in 2014.
Okay, when did Primal come out? I'm not actually sure. I don't know that I watched Primal when it was a new show. In fact, I'm positive I didn't because the whole thing was out when I started watching it.
Yeah.
So he's curious, going to touch him. If you know zombie stories, that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Gets bit, and then they start fighting, and he bites him back since he bit him.
Yeah.
I love that. Shows the whole caveman element that we're going with here.
Mm-hmm.
But the stranger doesn't feel any pain. Makes sense if he's a zombie. And then we get to my second least favorite panel of this particular issue.
Which one?
This.
Yeah.
The hell is going on here? Why is his leg extended like that? Like, it looks like the reference for this was a Ken doll.
Yeah.
Like somebody was posing.
So huge.
The heads are so huge, and then look at the leg. It doesn't even look like it would actually be in the hip socket.
Yeah.
The posing of it is so strange there, but everything else looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the weird scratchy lines that are used in this comic. I like the art a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that, you know, this all looks so good that this almost takes you out of the story for that particular one panel that looks so bad.
Yeah.
It's almost, what were you saying?
It almost has this scratchy ballpoint pen feel to it.
Yeah, I can see that. Is that what you think they used to do this?
Possibly. It could have been some kind of traditional pen work, and then they might have done something digital to it later on.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, because some of the panels, the colors also look like actual ink.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if this was traditionally done or digitally done.
Okay. So then he just beats him to death with his hands.
I love this panel so much. That's such a gruesome panel.
It is. I don't know if I've ever seen a zombie tell where the character just beats the other character to death with his hand, or beats a zombie to death with his hands.
Yeah.
Have you?
I don't think so.
I love it though. It works for the caveman. I know these guys don't literally live in caves, or at least I don't think they do.
No, they do. I'm pretty positive, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, cavemen, in any case. It works so well for their type of story. But he didn't walk away unscathed from the battle. He's been bit. And why would the deer go over there and start eating it, or whatever it's doing? I don't know what the deer is doing.
I'm guessing, like, ancient caveman species. None of them are smart.
Maybe. I was kind of curious why they used a non-predatory animal to go over and look at it. And deer aren't even scavengers.
Yeah.
The only time deer eat any sort of meat is when they need to grow their antlers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of bizarre choice, but if you weren't raised around places that actually had deer and stuff, maybe you just make that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So he heads towards the tribe, and then we can make that assumption that the shadow behind her is the zombie, and that it's just bit her while she's protecting her kids.
Yeah.
I like this page.
I do too. It's a really nice splash.
Yeah. And then this one did kind of confuse me a little bit because I didn't understand what this weapon was that he was throwing.
Yeah.
So I just thought he was just throwing an arrow, but then your brother explained that it is an actual weapon that would have existed at one point in time.
Yeah, I had him come in here and explain it to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everything about this looks pretty nice. They're hunting a moose. I do wonder what part of the world are they supposed to be in where a moose and a deer are so close together, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, different era. Who knows? And he's able to take the moose down with one shot. It's kind of a weird placement on its neck.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying yet again, though, about like, if you don't know, maybe ask somebody who does. The whole idea that you take an animal down that big with just one shot in what doesn't look like a killing stroke to me.
Yeah.
So then the hunter and the hunter's master, teacher, whatever you want to call him.
Something.
They get back, and the whole entire tribe has been turned to zombies, and they're not eating something that's freshly killed. That's something you should eat.
Yeah.
They're eating other tribe people. I like the way that they experiment so much about the coloring on the borders of this.
It's really cool.
I do wonder, though, because I know that this was printed through Kablam, I wonder if there was supposed to be border extensions in places where there's not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, it seems almost at times, not maybe not as much on, like, this page, but on some of the pages it seems like there should be a bit of a border that's actually cropped out.
Oh, okay.
And I know with a lot of Kablam books, that is a mistake a lot of creators make. Is they don't factor in enough for the bleed. And I'm not just talking Kablam, I'm talking Comics Wellspring. Basically all of the companies that print for people who aren't used to doing printing.
Yeah.
So, to be fair, I'm not saying it's an issue with Kablam or Comics Wellspring, but rather when you're getting the files designed for them. So, one of the hunters wants to take off. The older of the two wants to protect the moose.
Food is scarce.
Yeah. And one interesting thing is they do start devouring the moose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they devour the moose, and then pretty gnarly image of the elder gang devoured while the younger caveman is fighting his now zombified
right. He
wife,
wants to make it to his cave to see his children, and that's seemingly his wife. This is really awkward looking with the skin being ripped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that they weren't trying to go for too dark, but since it shows intestines right there, why not just make that part like the intestines being ripped out or something? It looks like skin to me at least.
Yeah.
And that panel does look a bit goofy. But then he meets up with the hunter from the very beginning who is viciously eating his kids. And he looks completely different. So I guess the zombie virus must age you rapidly in this world.
Something.
That'd be my guess, because this guy doesn't look anything like the guy we were introduced to at the beginning, but I know he is because of the narrative dialogue. Which, once again, the narrative dialogue is actually pretty good in this.
It's very solid.
And then he stabs him through the neck, but that doesn't do a whole lot. And we know why, because, we live in a world where you know how to kill zombies.
Yeah.
And he rushes past them and discovers you can just stick a flaming torch in their mouth.
This is probably my favorite image.
I like that one too. Yeah.
The eyes bulging out, him eating the fire.
Yeah, I think that works quite well too. And then he goes back for more fire, and there's too many of them. And he gets a good idea to run to the tar pits.
Yeah.
Because the tar pits will light. So the one thing I wondered here is, what year is this? Would the tar pits actually exist at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's overthinking it, right?
Right.
Should just have fun with this.
Yeah, this is definitely one that you shouldn't throw too much logic into.
Yeah,
This is a kind of a campy zombie.
Right. Lights the tar pits. And then this, I think, is where it really started reminding me of Primal.
Yeah.
Because he goes back and wants to document what he's seen. And the guy from the beginning isn't quite done with him. So he breaks his neck in 2 different places. I actually thought that he was going to rip his head off. That's what I thought was happening there.
That's what
how
overextended
overextended he has his neck. But it says that he just snapped it twice. And then he thinks that he should seal off the cave. And then watches the world burn as he burns. This is probably the only thing I don't like.
Yeah,
like really don't like.
Fire for this.
Yeah, there's things I can nitpick throughout this that I think should have been done better. But the realistic fire, I hate realistic fire in comics.
Yeah, we covered this in a different comic.
And then this is where you become glad that they haven't had dialogue through this whole thing. So I think that it works that the dialogue wasn't there in terms of the fact these are supposed to be cavemen, right?
Yeah.
It's not that the dialogue is particularly bad. It's not particularly good either. But it's just kind of meh dialogue. But the lettering, oh my God, does this look bad?
Yeah, the word balloons.
It's all just ellipses. Yeah, no no rounding to the balloons, no making them balloon shape. You can really tell whoever lettered this was very inexperienced illustrator.
Yeah.
Like, this is some of the most inexperienced looking lettering I've ever seen. This tail going right up to the guy's mouth. No shortening of the tail whatsoever. This tail is not pointing to his mouth. The words are not arranged in a circular pattern whatsoever. All of the balloon shapes are just ellipses. This is someone who is extremely frustrated by Illustrator and finally decided to just throw in the towel and just publish it. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah. And then what makes the lettering look even worse, though, is when you use these realistic stickers that are clearly just stand-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And they're beside lettering that's like this. That makes it look worse. But once you get past the lettering, it is actually pretty interesting. So it's the drawing he did before, preserved up until now, which, you could probably see coming.
Yeah.
And there's a skull on the ground from that time period that a guy nicks his finger on. And apparently the zombie virus is still active, and he's heading to Boston.
Yep.
So in theory, it's going to be everywhere soon.
Yeah.
These work slightly better. Looks like the lettering was improving a little bit, and then that makes it not so much.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a comma after "Are you okay?"
Is it not supposed to be a comma? I thought it was.
It looks like one, but why would it be? That's a question. Shouldn't it have a question mark?
Yeah.
Has a question mark there. I don't know. It's kind of strange. And then it's signed. But you didn't get it signed because...
No.
Yeah, and this is how I know. Oh, this is Comics Wellspring, not Kablam. Yeah. I don't take back what I said, though. It's still the same thing where a lot of the things get trimmed no matter what POD printer you're using because a lot of people don't know exactly where it should be.
What does POD mean?
Print on demand.
Okay.
So there are 3 different forms of printing. There's print on demand, or digital printing as some people call it, which means you can print as few as like 1 copy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's offset, which is what's going to be used for the vast majority of the bigger run prints. Usually starting in quantities about 500, right?
Right.
And then there's web pressing, which is what can do your newsprint. It's what newspapers and magazines go through. Marvel uses web pressing. Pretty much anybody that you see that's doing a magazine that's under like $30 is going to be using WordPress.
Okay.
And anyone using newsprint uses WordPress because you can't do newsprint through digital printing or offset. You can only do that using WordPress.
Yeah.
They're all different types of technologies for what it is. So what this actually is, when you look at the images, the ink has not been pressed into the page. Mm-hmm. The ink is put on through laser printing. Okay. So whether it's Kablam or it's Comics Wellspring or whatever, the technology to put this ink on the paper is the same as you get from your local print shop. Oh, it's generally Xerox is the company that makes these sort of printers. And they just print directly on top of the paper. The ink's never actually stamped into it like it would be through offset or anything like that. That being said, really good quality. There's nothing wrong with the printing of them. But usually it's for runs that are smaller because of the cost difference. So you can usually kind of gauge where somebody's at in their career by the printer they're using, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So this is very much like a beginner type comic. Maybe it wouldn't surprise me if I found out they had made 5 or 6 comics before this one. Mm-hmm. But because it is actually quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that the lettering could use some improvements. A few things here and there would have made it a lot better. But all in all, this is a fun Halloween read.
This is an incredibly fun read.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every second of it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I take it you'd be interested in checking it out if there's more.
Yeah, if there's more.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea if there is or not.
I don't either, but I would be interested in taking a look at more too if there is. Mm-hmm. So, all right, you got anything else?
No.
Let's go make some comics. Looking for something to read this Halloween season?
Darkslinger Comics has you covered. Check out Ghost Assassin, a supernatural crime comic. Issue number 1 is currently available in a color edition as well as a limited edition black and white raw copy that features Joel Kotajar's pencils and the lettering only. There's also a raw edition available for issue number 2. We're currently completing the inks and coloring stages on issue number 2. Can't wait to read it? You can pick up the A story in the cards as a mini comic. Issue number 3 is also available in the raw edition. Vampires more your thing? Check out Chronicles of Von Helsing. This story features the world's oldest blood feud, the Von Helsings versus vampire kind. Issue number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all available, as well as the Sally mini comic and the newest addition to the Chronicles Von Helsing lineup, Blood Will Out by Tony Morgan. This is the last time Chronicles Von Helsing issues number 1 through 5 in the Sally special will be offered in this format. We're almost sold out of the remaining copies. The next time it sees print is going to be as a colored edition hardcover. Vampires and supernatural crime not your thing? Check out Who Will Save the World. All of these issues are available online on Darkslinger.com, on our eBay store. You can order digital editions through our Patreon. Most of the comics mainstream spinner racks have these titles in stock as well. Are you a retailer and you're interested in stocking Darkslinger products? Get a hold of Comics Mainstream. Comics Mainstream is the exclusive distributor for Darkslinger Comics.